Hi guys. I received an inbox from Miss Tantalizing. Hey Miss Tan. Um, to share with you all my actual weight loss story, or I guess you guys call it a weight loss journey here on YouTube. For those of you who don't know, I used to weigh 360 pounds. December 3rd of 2003, I elected to undergo gastric bypass surgery. I know a lot of you guys, oh, she had gastric bypass. That's how she lost all her weight. No, I worked really, really hard to lose my weight and to maintain my weight loss. Leading up to my gastric bypass surgery, I guess I'll give you a little bit of background. As far as my weight gain is concerned, I've always been overweight pretty much my whole life. I was overweight. Um, I gained the bulk of my weight leading up to 360 pounds during my last pregnancy with my daughter. I was really sick with her and I was on bed rest and I wasn't active at all. I wasn't active at all. Now, when for me to elect to have surgery, I actually researched gastric bypass surgery for about 2 or 3 years before I actually decided that's something I wanted to do. When I decided it was something I wanted to do, I discussed it with my physician, and my physician simply wrote because I didn't have any overall health conditions. Didn't have high blood pressure, I didn't have diabetes, sleep apnea, none of that. I was an active fat girl. And yes, I'm calling myself fat. I mean, I don't know what I was fat. And I would run and walk at least 5 or 6 miles, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. I was active to be big, but I could never, ever, ever lose weight, and I couldn't figure it out. And then my doctor went ahead and submitted the information to my insurance company. She simply stated, "I believe uh, that she will greatly benefit from gastric bypass surgery because her current weight is 360 pounds. Her BMI is 59." And that was it. That's all the letter that she gave me stated. And United Healthcare blessed me with approving my surgery. And my overall cost for my surgery was $72,000 when it was all said and done. And I'll get to why it was $72,000 when I get in a minute. But I only had to pay $200 out of pocket, and that's the best $200 I've ever spent in my life. Okay. Now, getting down to when I had the surgery, I went in to have my operation. Everything went as planned. I had my surgery, blah, 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 blah. I was out of town to have my surgery. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and I had to drive like 3.5 hours. Well, it's not really 3 hours, maybe about 2 hours to Ocala, Florida, to have my surgery. Monroe Regional Medical Center is the best hospital in the world. They were really good to me. But my husband at the time drove with me, and he was there with me during the surgery. But after surgery, after I got released from recovery and was taken back to my room, he stayed with me about 20 or 30 minutes in my room, and I said, well, he was like, okay, I'm going home to be with the kids, and I was okay with that. Not 20 to 30 minutes after he left, I had a stroke. And I was 27 at the time. Who would have thought? But I lost movement in my legs, my arms. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I had to blink once for no, blink twice for yes. That was my communication. When I woke up, I had like 30 people surrounding me, and I didn't know what the heck was going on. I just knew I couldn't move my body. They took me over to just trying to make. Let me just speed this up. They took me over to ICU. In ICU, I wasn't getting any better. I started literally vomiting up cups and cups of blood. So, needless to say, I had to have blood transfusion. It took up a couple of days, but I was able to get the feeling back in my arms and my legs and stuff. And of course, you can see me now. I'm moving around and I'm talking, and I was not left with any, you know, issues from the surgery. I mean, the only thing is like every now and then I get a little numb. But I've had several surgeries on my stomach. But I went home after surgery. Uh, Followed through with my diet well. Maybe about 3 or 4 weeks after I had surgery, not even 3 or 4, yeah, about 4 weeks after I had surgery, I had lost like 60 pounds in a month. And then I got to the point to where I couldn't. I was like, "What is going on?" Because you're only supposed to have like 3 ounces. I had everything pre-measured in these little tiny 3 ounce cups, so that I could stick with what I'm supposed to be doing. But I noticed that whole pills, my medication was coming back up. I called my physician and found I had went back. I had to go back to the hospital. I found out that in African Americans, keloiding is very prevalent, and I ended up keloiding on the inside, and the opening to my stomach closed. Once the opening to my stomach closed up, I had to have surgery to have it reopen. Well, they couldn't do it immediately, so I sat in the hospital about 3 days, NPO, and for those of you who know, that means you can't eat anything, you can't drink anything. They were feeding me through a tube, and that was like really pissing me off because I wanted to eat some. I wanted to at least have water in my mouth. That was my big thing: is can I have water? And you can't even have water. So they took the tube down my throat, opened it back up, went home. Actually, before I went home, they had put some more weight back on me because I had lost too much weight too fast. I did look sick though. I looked like a crackhead. Like I looked crackheadish. Like I was on some mad diet or something. I just looked sick. So I was kind of happy they did put the weight back on. So after that, everything pretty much went as planned. I went back to my doctor for my checkup visit. He told me I want you to be doing 5 miles in 30 minutes. I told this man he was a freaking fool. But guess what? I can do 5 miles in 30 minutes now. So I thought he was crazy, but I said all that. I told you guys all that to say is like me losing all this weight was not by chance. It wasn't just because I had surgery. I went through a lot of stuff. And because I went through a lot of stuff and God blessed me enough to allow me to be able to walk, allow me to be able to talk, and be able to function as normal, I was not going to mess it up. So I put in the work that's required when you do have gastric bypass. I worked out every day. I went to the track in the morning and in the evening. Um, every day. My eating habits, like I don't do sugar, I do Splenda. Water is my best friend. Um, I'm still working with the weight so that I can tone. Like I don't have like a lot of people have like excessive amount. Like my skin is soft, but I don't have a lot of hanging skin everywhere. No, my boobies may not be as perky as I'd like them to be, but I'm not getting cut on again. um, I put a lot. I went through a lot, and it takes a lot of work when you do have. If even if you don't have gastric bypass surgery, when you're even going through the process of trying to lose weight, because I remember, going through the slim fast phase, and trying the weight loss, what is it, Weight Watchers and stuff like that. I think Weight Watchers is a good program, and it works for a lot of people. It works great for my cousin. But it just didn't work for me. And gastric bypass was my option and my choice to actually get me to the point to where I am today. My original size was a size 30 in women, and now I wear a size 10, 12 in women. And I'm comfortable at that size. I would like to get back. I was down to a size 9, but at that size, everybody told me that I kind of looked a little crackheadish because I'm almost 6 feet tall. Um, yeah, I'm about 6 feet tall, and it just looks a little funny on me. And I like my curves. I'm accepting of my body as it is. The biggest thing for me, as far as like before I lost the weight, yeah, I'm divorced now. I was married, and believe it or not, it my weight loss had nothing to do with the divorce, but I noticed that I get, with the whole thing, the whole Facebook thing, um, I get the whole girl, I always had a crush on you when we were in high school. I'm like, really? In school, I was the one that was quiet. I was a quiet fat girl that was friends with the whole football team and everybody else. I was everybody's friend. I was a year ahead of my class. And I pretty much, well, most of my classes were with upperclassmen, and I just pretty much was there. I was real quiet, and I didn't say anything, but I knew everything, but I didn't say anything. And I was everybody's friend. But at the same time, I didn't have the boyfriends or the guys all over me. I talked to older guys when I was in school. So these people, oh, I always had a crush on you. You didn't like me. All I ever got when I was in school or when I was younger was, oh, you got such a pretty face. When you say to a fat girl, and I was a fat girl, that's what I considered myself to be, a fat girl. Actually, I was a plus size diva because you really couldn't tell me anything. But it gets to a point. Oh, you got such a pretty face. Your face is so pretty. You trying to say I'm fat without saying I'm fat. I mean, that's the way I take it. Oh, you got such a pretty face. Okay, but you can't say nothing else. But honestly, I dated my ex husband while I was in high school, so it wasn't that bad. We married and we stayed married for about 13 years, and it wasn't bad at all to actually have somebody as when I was heavy, and I had somebody accept me for who I was. And as a smaller person, I do find that men are different, and I think in some instances, I feel like I intimidate guys. Um, I have I have a tendency to intimidate guys because I'm a real bold female. I don't have a problem with talking to any and everybody, and I've always been like that. Even when I was heavy, I've been very much so able to communicate with people freely, and that's just my personality. But I have noticed that in during this time period, like being the size that I am, that I do get more attention. Um, I guess I don't know. I didn't lack confidence when I was heavy, but I guess my confidence just went up a couple notches. But outside of that, nothing has really changed in my life. The way I eat is pretty much the same way. I eat kind of like a diabetic would eat. I'm hypoglycemic because of my surgery. My body still thinks I'm 360, so it overproduces insulin to a certain extent, and that is common with people who have gastric bypass that they develop low blood sugar. So I have low blood sugar, and I have to manage that. But I'm gonna end this video because it's getting a little long, and I know that a lot of people don't like to watch long drawn out videos. It doesn't matter to me because I don't watch television stuff. But if you have any questions about gastric bypass surgery, weight loss surgery, you can hit my inbox or you can leave a comment down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And also, I wanted to ask you guys if you have any suggestions in regards to things that I can add to my channel. I know I have some things in my inbox and I'm working on it now. But I would appreciate your feedback and any corrective any constructive criticism that you can offer would be helpful as well. I thank you once again for taking the time to watch my video. Bye guys. Till next time.